The oldest son of a resident, Mary Ann, was her power of attorney. When Mary Ann began needing more support, he stepped in to guide the family toward our community. Mary Ann had dementia, and what had once been small moments of forgetfulness had progressed into unpredictable behaviors: restlessness at night, confusion during the day, and increasing agitation that left the family both concerned and exhausted. There were two siblings, each doing their very best, rotating her care from home to home. What began as a loving arrangement slowly became unsustainable. Sleep deprivation was taking a toll on everyone, but especially on Mary Ann. Her nights were fragmented, often wandering and awake for hours, which only intensified her confusion and emotional distress during the day. By the time they arrived for our first family meeting, you could feel the weight in the room. Each sibling carried a different perspective, one focused on safety, another on independence, and another still holding on to hope that things would go back to the way they were. It quickly became clear that they were not aligned in their decision making regarding Mary Ann, her needs, her priorities for her care, and that lack of alignment was beginning to impact not only their relationship with each other, but the quality of care that Mary Ann was receiving. This episode of Senior Living Moments explores 5 common mistakes families make when choosing a senior living home and how to avoid them.
Welcome to Senior Living Moments with Nancy Nelson. With 45 years of connecting with seniors, 2 decades of award-winning experience in assisted living, and a heart full of compassion, Nancy brings you stories that resonate and insights that empower. Get ready for real conversations, practical wisdom, and heartfelt humor to help you and your loved ones navigate the journey of seasoned adulthood with confidence and grace. And now, here's Nancy.
Our sponsor for this episode of Senior Living Moments is Belmont Village Senior Living, a network of over 30 beautiful communities around North America. People who move into Belmont often describe it as a luxurious cruise ship on land. Residents are proud of their new home and enjoy amenities like a saltwater pool, movie theater, full-use gym, and restaurant-style dining. They appreciate having pals to assist them and nurses available 24 hours a day. For more information, go to belmontvillage.com. That's belmontvillage.com, and see if there's a community near you. Over the past 20 years, I have sat with many families navigating this decision. Sometimes it's triggered by a crisis. Other times it's the gradual progression of dementia or increasing care needs. Families quickly realize there are multiple options to consider: independent living, assisted living, memory care, boarding care, and in-home care. We've explored these in more detail, but today we will focus on the 5 most common mistakes families make when making these decisions. Mistake number 1: families that wait too long to decide. Many families wait until a major crisis occurs, a loved one wandering in the middle of the night, leaving the stove on, suffering a fall, or repeatedly calling emergency services. These situations are often rooted in changes that have been developing quietly over time. Families delay for many reasons. Often they haven't had open conversations about the whole aging journey or created a flexible plan for future care. They have financial concerns also, which cause hesitation. But even when a senior appears to be managing, there can be hidden risks, moments of confusion, infections like UTIs that affect cognition, or simply lapses that lead to danger. Research shows that nearly 60% of individuals with dementia will wander at some point, placing them at significant risk. Families frequently say, "Oh, we should have moved sooner." The reality is that it's much easier for a senior to adjust to a new environment before cognitive decline accelerates. Mistake number 2 is focusing on the wrong criteria. Choosing senior living is not the same as choosing a dream home. One family member once told me that he selected an apartment for his father based on the square footage, the view out the window, and how quiet it was. But within months, he realized none of those things even mattered. His father needed a smaller, simpler space, closer to daily activity and support. What matters most is not aesthetics, but safety, comfort, connection. Instead of asking what looks best, families should consider what will help their loved one feel secure and what level of care is available and where meaningful social interaction can occur. Simplicity often creates better outcomes. Research suggests that older adults, especially those experiencing cognitive decline, function better in environments that are less complex and easier to navigate. What feels smaller to us often feels safer to them. It's important not to make decisions through the lens of a 50-year-old when your loved one is 80 with very different needs. Mistake number 3 is when a family makes decisions based on cost alone. Families often arrive with a fixed number in mind, typically based on past housing expenses. But assisted living is not simply rent, it's a comprehensive lifestyle that includes meals and housekeeping, transportation, social programming, and more. When you consider what is no longer needed, like car expenses, home maintenance, utilities, daily living costs, the value of senior living becomes much clearer. In many cases, especially when care needs increase, the cost of in home care can exceed the cost of assisted living. According to Genworth's cost of care data, layered in home services can surpass the cost of community based care when supervision becomes more consistent. Instead of asking, what can I get for my budget? It's more helpful to ask, what am I receiving for this investment? Mistake number 4, when families plan only for today and not for tomorrow. Families often make decisions based on the current needs of their loved one without considering how those needs may evolve. My own family experienced this. My father moved into independent living and did very well for about 8 months. Then his condition changed quickly, and we had to move him again and then again as his care needs increased. Each move created stress and confusion for him. Progressive conditions like dementia and Parkinson's require forward thinking decisions. Choosing a community that allows a resident to age in place can significantly reduce disruption. Research indicates that multiple relocations in older adults, particularly those with cognitive impairment, are associated with increased confusion, stress, and decline. Stability makes and matters more than we even realize. You may remember Marianne from the beginning of our story. When her care needs increased, one sibling decided to move her to a different community. Her confusion intensified, and within 2 months, the family called to bring her back to our community. Mistake number 5, when families wait for full family consensus before making a decision. While it's natural to want everyone to agree, it is often unrealistic. Siblings bring different perspectives and emotions and levels of involvement. One may be hands on, the other distant but legally responsible, another deeply emotional, and another more pragmatic. What matters most is clarity in the decision making. In identifying one primary decision maker early can prevent delays and conflict. Other family members can still play meaningful roles like supporting, advocating, and staying involved, but without stalling critical decisions. When decisions are delayed, they are often made under pressure, driven by emotion rather than thoughtful planning. This can create unnecessary stress for both the family and the loved one who needs the care. In the end, the most important question is not whether the decision was perfect, but whether it was made with love and compassion and a clear understanding of what your loved one truly needs. Let those values guide you and still lead to peace of mind. That's it for our podcast, but remember, every season of life deserves dignity, clarity, and care. This is Senior Living Moments.